Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com, coming back to you with another video with the Bearded Picker live in Austin, Texas for the Green Room Meetup. How's it going, brother? Good to have you here.
Oh yeah, sweating as usual.
It is hot. It's like 90 degrees. In this video, we're going to be talking to the Bearded Picker about what do you do when your business starts to get to like that middle level ground and it's hard to find information about VAs, taxes, legal entity structures, different things that come along with growth. And we're going to kind of touch on a couple of these topics. So you might have to speak up a little bit because we don't got the wireless mic set up today. But what are your thoughts, man, to kind of start things off?
Yeah, I think that we as a YouTube community have kind of, the reseller community have kind of failed. We focus so much on the new people and all the questions, and rightly so. So many people come in this every day, and there's a lot of good information we can provide. But we fail to, as we grow, to teach the people who have been with us the whole time and are medium-sized sellers. Hey, this is what's happening in my business today, and this is how I benefited from it. I think we can provide. Really, there's a market in there, and it's to help provide information for people that mid-size.
Yeah, it's so easy. Like one of the biggest traps I fall into, and I don't know if you fall victim to this at all, is we're always looking to bring more people into our channel, to grow our subscriber base. It's kind of a crappy thing, but it's like we put out a lot of content that draws people in. But yeah, like you said, when people kind of grow, they outgrow a channel. So
right.
Things like maybe like taxes and stuff. You said that recently you had hired an accountant?
All right, I finally, after doing this for 5 years, hired an accountant in February. And the first thing he did was let me do an analysis of where you are and the money and tell you what I think about which business entity. And he comes back and says, man, an S Corp will save you a lot. It's going to cost you money to set it up, but once you set it up, you're going to save a fortune in taxes. And I didn't have any idea how to set it up. I didn't have any idea how to do the analysis, but this is someone you pay an amount of money to, but the savings is, we're talking, I'm throwing away $12,000, $13,000 a year in taxes that the right structure saves all this money.
Absolutely. So yeah, talk to somebody who knows more than you. A lot of times we're trying to figure out taxes on our own, legal entity structures, and we're going on LegalZoom and all of that, but talk to somebody. I'd recommend literally going into the yellow pages. I don't even know if the yellow pages exist anymore, but I think even a better way is to talk to maybe a local reseller who's maybe 5 steps ahead of you and say, hey, who do you use for your CPA? Or put a post out, or just contact 5 or 10 CPAs and sit down with them and get a feel for them. Because I hired I was working with my dad. My father's a CPA, but my business kind of outgrew what he knew, and I went through the entire process, and it wasn't easy, but it really will save you a lot of money. And I actually just became an S Corp as well. This is my first year.
Yeah, and he was actually able to, I was actually an S Corp last year, even though I didn't know it, because he was able to back me into it last year and save the taxes for last year and then moving forward. So, and now that you got somebody else who looks at money different, can help advise you on, where to invest your money, how to spend it, can really do some analysis for you to understand your profitability. And these things get very important as because remember, I talk about this a lot. You're the owner, you're the advertiser, you're the inventory
wearing
person,
all the hats,
everything. And at some point, your dad was a CPA, was helping you. I've got an accounting degree, and I thought I'm doing okay doing my own taxes, but I'm just doing the basics and not understanding, someone who can take advantage of the tax laws in your favor.
But don't forget, we have a complicated business model. Any business that has physical inventory is much more complicated.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's a lot that goes into it. And another thing I want to touch on as well, not only can you save money by hiring a really good CPA, but as your business starts to grow, there's different liabilities and risks that you're faced with.
Right, you're right.
I talked to a woman, it's probably 8 or 9 months ago, and I didn't even realize that you should have liability insurance on your Amazon account, because let's just say a package is dropped off on the steps, and let's just say somebody trips over it, you're gonna be named on that suit.
Correct. Once you sell over $10,000 a month for 3 months in a row, Amazon actually requires you to carry $1 million liability insurance. We don't talk about that.
It's not a lot of money. It's like $600-700 a year.
Yeah, I pay like $62 a month. It's not bad.
Yeah. So that's definitely one of the things, the CPA for sure. As you grow, one thing to talk about as well is asking for even more help in your business, right? hiring virtual assistants. I know you're passionate about that.
Right. We actually had a show with a lady who owns a virtual assistant company come on and just talk to my audience on my morning show. And, truly, I thought, I don't have time to train this person, but, here's a company out there that will, you tell them what you want. They train, they source them and train them.
I've heard about that.
And, it can take so much off your plate. And it's, it's a lot of the day-to-day tasks, with scheduling, helping you with building eBay listings, a lot of the stuff that, the mundane stuff. I'm telling you, if you don't get any help, you can't do more of the fun stuff you love to do. And a lot of that's my drive is, I want to, make as much money possible. So I want to have someone helping me with the money part. And then also now I want people to help me do the parts of business I don't like as much, so that we can focus on. I'm out here sourcing in Austin, Texas. I've been out here 6 days, hanging out with cool resellers like yourself. And this is the fun part, guys. How many people said, I'd have loved to come to the green room meetup, but I had to work, or I couldn't do this, or I couldn't do that. You got to get to a point where you allow, if it's an employee, if it's a virtual employee, these things help set you free from the things that you don't like.
Did you get a chance to meet a guy named Craig Morris?
I did, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him.
Man, he's like inspirational. He has a family. I think he just had a new kid, so he has 3 kids.
Right.
He's here with 3 of his kids from Wisconsin, I believe, down here in Austin, Texas, and his wife. And he just sourced another warehouse. So he has 2 warehouses, and he's up to 5 employees, all just in 1 year.
That's
and
amazing.
He said he was just so blessed and grateful to have these people working for him, because he's got people sourcing for him, shipping for him, running the business while he's here. He said it was really hard, but it's something that you can get to.
Yeah, actually my first employee is my son, so I don't know how many people say, I have a future rocket scientist who's at home running my eBay business. He's an aerospace engineer. He's a senior in aerospace
Oh, really?
engineering.
That's awesome.
And that is very freeing in itself, that he is, he's doing his listings 25 a day. And then, I told him, anything you got to ship, just subtract off the listing. So, he's taking care of the shipping, he's taking care of the listings. Anything that needs to be done on the eBay side, he's doing while I'm gone.
Yeah.
And that in itself is freeing. So that's really the mistake I made last year. And, I try to be transparent. If I make a mistake, I'll tell you. Is when he did this last summer, I didn't have somebody to replace him. So my eBay just crashed as I kept going with Amazon. And I just think the opportunity lost of what I could have sold and where I could be now if I'd kept that same help level. Because I was killing it on eBay while he was actually had help with it. And then all of a sudden, I don't have time to focus on it. It goes down to nothing. And it's just opportunity lost because I didn't plan to have help in place to take over that part.
One of the biggest things I've noticed amongst people, and I was like this for the longest time, and I still am to a certain extent, is what would you say to somebody who's scared to give up control? I want to control my bookkeeping. I want to control my taxes. I want to sign up for my LLC with LegalZoom. I want to list all my items. I want to photograph all my items. I don't trust anyone else to do as good of a job as I'm doing. And I know you're reading a current Tim Ferriss book, so this is probably at the tip of your tongue. What are your thoughts? What have you been learning? What would you say?
You're giving up the task. You're not giving up control of the task, responsibility for the task. You build in checks where you can satisfy your needs. Hey, that, until Jacob, my son, got really good at listing, make them all drafts. And after a couple days, I'm like, oh my God, he's better than I am. Let's go. So build in the checks in there so you can, because it's much easier for you to do a follow-up than it is to do all of the work. And so I was a manager for 25 years before I did this, so I'm okay. I had this philosophy that, man, I've managed people for so long. I just want to be me. I don't want any more voices in my head. But you come to the realization that, you've got to allow people to help you, and you don't ever get rid of the responsibility. And I think that's delegation does not mean delegation of responsibility. It's delegating a task, and once you understand the difference, and it puts your mind at ease. Because I'm one of those control people, that's why I don't like to fly, because I'm not the one I'm on the pilot seat, those kind of things. But, with time, you just got to do it. It's like anything else. Once you do it the first time,
once you train them and they make a mistake, you teach them how to do it correctly, and then they make another mistake and you teach them it again, and they finally get it down. And then what you're doing is you're building a blueprint or a system, and a system's repeatable. So that's really the goal, is to ultimately teach them how to do it. And then you build a system. You're able to take your hands off, and then the checks and balances, of course.
What is this mistake we speak of? Did we make those?
The what?
We don't speak mistakes. What are they?
That's the key to success.
Don't kid yourself. You know, you have to allow them to make a mistake here or there. Anybody in your audience that didn't make a mistake, I want to meet that person, because they happen. It's a lot of this business is how you deal with those kind of things. You know, what's the return? You just satisfy the customer, take care of the customer, make them whole, move on.
Yeah.
It's no different than anything else.
So to close things off before we sweat our butts off, it's really hot. We got my main man behind the camera. I see the sweat dripping down the feet. He's keeping his arms so steady. I'm just like, wow, man. But what advice would you?
He's a human tripod.
What advice would you give the people to kind of close things off? If they're currently watching YouTube channels and their current resources, they feel like they're not getting what they need, because a lot of channels, like we said, to kind of close things off, they're talking about a lot of beginner or even intermediate stuff. Where do you go? How do you get that help if you're lost? Is it about going to events, networking?
A lot of it's networking. The one thing I would tell you, and I've been told this by a friend, is you got to look at the people around you. You know, if you surround yourself with all the people your level, you know, none of y'all are going to grow. You need a person. Who is the person above you that you can ask questions to? You need to identify that person and find someone, a peer, someone it doesn't have to be this business, but somebody in business who is self-employed, somebody you can ask questions to, because in your circle of friends and there needs to be. You can be the alpha, the high person for someone else, but don't forget there needs to be somebody above you, because you're always growing. And I have a friend named John who's been providing that to me, and it's very invaluable to have someone who has been there, done that you can ask questions to, and can provide guidance and kind of point you in the right direction and see things from a level that they've been at and can give you sound advice. So it's craft your people around you, because you know I love helping others. So you know there always will be people below you who need your help, but you also need help in turn. And I think a lot of us, we start these businesses and we're the one doing everything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pride in the fact that we can do it. But in order to really blossom and grow into something larger, you truly need to allow help.
Hey, well, thank you so much. Do us a big favor and check out The Bearded Picker on YouTube. His channel has really been growing, been an amazing resource, adding a ton of value to people. So I'm going to put it on the screen somewhere, his YouTube channel, also link in the description to go check out his channel. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for coming on.
And
awesome, Good to see you, buddy. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.